Next on our tour is the ancient oracle of Dodona. And I was wondering, Apostolos, while we get started here, if you could just kind of briefly explain what an oracle is. I know I've tried to do some research and I've been a little confused by the definition myself.
Okay, when we talk about the word oracle, we don't mean that oracle is a person, it's a place. So it's a sacred place where people, individuals, they would go and take some advice, they would ask questions, and they would get an advice for what's going to happen in the future, like a prophecy, that it was given through a medium that would have been a priest or a priestess, that it was given by the god, that it was dedicated the sanctuary. In Dodona, we have Zeus, who's, of course, the king of gods. So the priest or priestess, they used to answer the questions of the people. They would write on lead tablets made of lead, and write questions. And then this would be interpreted by a sacred oak, by an oak tree, because there used to be a woods full of oaks. And because of, how can I say, the rustling of the leaves and the way the birds moved on the tree, the way they nested, the way they used to fly, that has to do, of course, the importance of nature at that time. They used to give the answer according to all the signs of the tree, and that makes it so beautiful. And the questions that people had at that time, because what they have found, the inscriptions, there were questions like we might have today. Should I marry that person? What should they do to get over, an illness I might have? Or at that time, they would say, what should I sacrifice to God so I can find my vision again, or my sight, or a health problem someone might have? So it's quite interesting. And what I love here is how sacred the oak tree used to be. Like, of course, the oak tree for many cultures is considered a sacred tree, but the connection to nature and to Hebrew has played an important role. And here we can see one of the travelers that is meditating. Is because, you're in front of a Noach. A Noach used to be the sacred tree of Dodoni, of Dodona, of the sanctuary of Zeus. And she's meditating there because you can hear the sounds of the bird and you can walk. And it's on a narrow valley. It has a beautiful view of a mountain called Tomaros. It's a beautiful place to be. And what I want to say, all these places, they have a special energy. There's some mysticism. So it really attracts you being there and being in nature and learning all the story by, our specialized local guides that are there to take us and show us everything. And of course, in Dodona, there's a beautiful theater, ancient theater. Used to be a stadium. And the ancient theaters we see during the summer, they have a festival. So they show a lot of plays there. And it's magical to be there on a summer evening of July, just looking at an ancient Greek comedy or a tragedy. This is beautiful. And I like that the Greeks, they live and the Epirotes with their monuments, of course, with all the respect, but we try to promote them as much as we can. And Dodona, it's a beautiful place.
Oh, well, thank you so much for that that description. That kind of just gives me chills hearing that people were coming to the oracle asking questions that we are still asking today. So that's kind of humbling, I guess. But yeah, very cool. Thank you for that, Apostolos. And now, on a slightly different note, we are going to look at the Acheron River, or also known as the gateway to Hades.
It used to be the gateway to Hades, according to the ancient Greeks. First of all, I want to say, Acherodas, it's a beautiful river. Although it's connected to death and the gateway to Hades, to the underworld, it is one of the most beautiful rivers in Epirus. So it is just a great joy to be there and walk inside the river. But we have to say that the ancient Greeks, they believed when someone would die, the soul would be transported with the assistance of Hermes used to be the messenger of God, but also used to be the person who would accompany the souls to the underworld, to Acherodas, the river, where it would be welcomed, let's say, there by Charon, which was like death, where when he ferried his boat by giving him a coin, would take you to Hades, to Pluto, Hades in the underworld. And this river would connect with other two rivers during the ancient times, and it would flow itself into a lake where close by used to be the Necromantio, the Oracle of the Dead. Something I would like to say about the river. Acherodas possibly comes from the ancient Greek word achos, that means sorrow, which is quite interesting where the name comes from. And also, it is a place that you can go for walking in the river, especially during the summer. It is not so deep. People can go swimming. And also, if people want and they have free time, they can go into kayaking. They can do rafting in the river as well. But I think the most amazing is to be there early in the morning with no other people, to feel the energy of the place and walk barefoot, with your water shoes inside the river. It's unique. And we're going to see the springs come out, meaning these are the gates of Hades. This is what people believed. So it's a magic moment. And don't forget, we have a lot of mythological references, and to Dodoni and to Acherodas, because in Acherodas, we have so many myths connected to the underworld. First of all, we have a lot of references in Homer at the Odyssey. Also, don't forget there is the wonderful myth of Orpheus and Eurydice that talks about music and art and love and death, and also Persephone, the wife of Hades, that she used to be the daughter of Demeter, the goddess of harvest. So all of these stories coming together at they're so beautiful. You have a history with with the myths tangled together. It's beautiful. And the Doona also that we saw, the sanctuary and the sacred oath we talked about. It's amazing because there's so many mythological references as well. For example, Jason and his Argonauts, before they left to go and find the golden fleece, they went to the dawn according to the story, and they were taken a piece of wood by one of the sacred trees of the oak woods, and they put it on their bow of the boat, so it would work, it would function as an orientation, as a compass. So there are all these stories related to these places, and we hear about them and we talk them. And of course, there's been a lot of archaeological excavations with different theories what every place used to be, like the Necromantio, the Oracle of the Dead. Necros in Greek means dead, like we said, necropolis, for example. Then Mandio means the Oracle of the Dead. It is considered the different theories. One of them is that it could have been a place where there used to be the Oracle of the Dead. People would go there to meet their dead family and talk. And this is what Odysseus did, that he went there to meet his dead father, according to Homer, the information we have. It's a very interesting place, and you can see we go underground, and you see these arches. There is all this mystery and all this assumption what this place could have been. So it's a wonderful place to go and discover.